On another Sabbath, Jesus entered the synagogue and taught, and there was a man there whose right hand was withered. The scribes and the Pharisees watched him to see whether he would cure on the Sabbath, so that they might find an accusation against him. Even though he knew what they were thinking, he said to the man who had the withered hand, "Come and stand here." He got up and stood there. Then Jesus said to them, "I ask you, is it lawful to do good or to do harm on the Sabbath, to save life or to destroy it?" After looking around at all of them, he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And he did so, and his hand was restored. But they were filled with fury and discussed with one another what they might do to Jesus. Now, I have heard all the theological arguments around this text. I understand that Jesus is challenging the Sabbath and the Sabbath law. I understand that on the part of the scribes and the Pharisees, Sabbath law was at the heart of their piety. And I understand that Monday could have been a day of healing as much as the Sabbath on Saturday or for us on Sunday. I understand all of that. What I'm beginning to realize is that what Jesus was doing here was trying to change the culture. In a synagogue on the Sabbath, there were certain things that were prescribed to do: the carrying of the scroll, the reading of the scroll, the teaching. People had assumed positions, and things were done in a particular order. And I can't help but wonder if in this text Jesus isn't pushing flexibility. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Flexibility for a cause. Flexibility for the sake of grace and life-giving healing. Isn't that the way he framed it? He said, "What is lawful? To do good or to do harm on the Sabbath? To save life or to destroy it?" What is lawful, according to the Pharisees, was not just what was written, but what was part of the oral law or the tradition. Jesus was going after the 7 fatal words in the church. We've never done it that way before. I've been reading an interesting book by Russ Crabtree, Penguins in the Pews. He uses penguins, the emperor penguin, and their loss of 50% of their population due to climate change, and the loss of population in worship attendance in mainline denominations. By the way, it also crosses into evangelical denominations. I find it fascinating that there are 5 particular attributes that his study, which, by the way, over 1,200 congregations, over 200,000 people in churches. Here's what he said we learn. First, there's a clear relationship between church culture and changes in worship. Specifically, there is significant downward pressure on worship attendance as the degree of flexibility decreases. You see, the more committed we are to the forms of the rituals than to the essence of the ritual, the more committed we are to observing the letter of the law as we understand the Sabbath, the less likely we are to heal. Leaders understand that what's critical is a commitment to the things that are at the heart, and an equal commitment to flexibility around the things that are not. That's Insight for today.
Thank you for watching Insight. You can view the previous episode, and please subscribe to our channel by clicking the link below.